we call e-fibers, which are environmentally friendly fibers, which we think are more environmentally friendly than the typical material you would use for that application. For cotton, we use organic cotton for the reasons that everybody talks about a lot, but mainly the issue was chemical use in conventional cotton growing. And in the early 90s, we started to move away from that and into organic cotton. By 1996, our entire cotton line was 100% organic cotton, and we haven't turned back since then. To do the same thing, we also brought in hemp, which is a natural fiber that generally grows completely naturally and then is harvested and processed. Not the same feeling as cotton, but you could use that in certain applications to get what you would in a normal cotton and avoid using all those pesticides in the growing. This is a recycled polyester and chlorine-free wool lining. We also have what we call a chlorine-free wool, and we use this for our base layer and also a lining for our wetsuit. Sometimes wool is chlorine washed to make it shrink resistant, and the effluent of the chlorine into the wastewater is probably the biggest problem for wool manufacturing. This is our wool process. We don't use chlorine. We do ozone treatment, which is what we use instead of chlorine, to remove the itchiness and make it shrink-proof. Here's an explanation of the chemical recycling process of our recycled polyester. There's also a mechanical recycling of the bottles that you can chop up and remelt polyester. Or in this case, we're taking some used garments like our capilene, chopping it up into little pieces, and then it goes through a chemical reaction to depolymerize it. So this is actually raw material, then turns back into polyester, into chips, into fiber, and then fabric. And now we're trying to bring in recycled nylon as another e-fiber, which just started in the fall of 2007. And we're starting to grow that slowly as there's more availability of recycled nylon fibers.
What do you think about, you hear now about bamboo, soy? It seems like people just want to just buy a material and say, okay, now I'm green. Or
Greenwashing, yeah. Most of those materials have been around for a long time. The things like bamboo rayon and things like milk and soy and all these protein fiber, they're not good performing materials and they're not good environmental materials. These are old technologies that were around like in the 50s, and now they weren't really proven out to be useful in the market, and now I think people are going back to them and saying, oh, this is natural, this is natural, this is natural. But natural isn't always environmentally friendly, and so you have to look at the whole process. So if the raw material is natural, but it goes through some chemical process to make the fiber, which is the case for a lot of these materials, you need to focus on that chemical process. This is a Tencel blend. Tencel is a fiber that we've been using for a long time, but we're now adding it to our list of e-fibers. And it came about with the whole bamboo rayon thing, and we've always used Tencel instead. And we realized that we should really be talking about the environmental benefits of using Tencel, which is a trademarked lyocell fiber. And lyocell is a similar process of rayon, but it uses a safer solvent, and it's 100% recycled in the process, so there's no pollution. So we have to make sure you look at the whole picture when we think about environmental impacts.